I'm Hilary Hanahoe. I'm from Ireland, but I have the wonderful joy of living in Italy, longer than I actually have ever lived in Ireland, but I still hold only an Irish passport. And my role is the Secretary General of the Research Data Alliance, which is a very privileged role to have. I represent a community of 13,000 individuals from across the globe, as well as a whole, I call it a family, as well as a group of over 75, I think, organisations, and then 35 to 40 regions and nations from across the globe. So a very big and warm family. Well, to be truly global, I think, while we have 148 countries represented through our members, I would say that if you were to look at on a map or on a heat map, unfortunately, our biggest footprint is still in the Northern Hemisphere. So one of the challenges is identifying or people and the connections to those people on the ground, as we are a bottom-up community-driven organisation in the Southern Hemisphere, in the regions in which we have, yes, some presence, but not significant enough. And we can really see the difference that it makes in the community if there is, if you like, a programme or a support or a region or a node of some sort or a champion that makes the connection for us. I hold a lot of stock in the regional aspect of the Research Data Alliance because we don't speak the language of the people on the ground. We don't know their challenges. We don't know who they are many times. And so to have that connection, to have that organisation or group of organisations that can really understand and bring to the global stage the challenges, but also the excellence of those regions, and then ensure that it really is truly a global. I mean, science is global, yeah? So there aren't any geographical boundaries, and we don't want them in RDA. So that's a bit of a challenge still to work with. So, I mean, well, I would call it more of a soft infrastructure, and in fact, our vision is that researchers and innovators can openly share and reuse data across disciplines, technologies, and countries to address the grand challenges of society, no? And the mission to achieve that vision is to build the social and the technical bridges. And we put equal importance into the social aspect. And one of the things, because it's such a bottom-up grassroots organisation, is the people, the network, which is possibly viewed as a soft infrastructure, as perhaps less requiring of funding. But really to make those connections in places like we are today, in plenaries, to facilitate the groups, it requires staff, it requires resources. And I think that's something that we've struggled with in RDA. The funders had amazing vision and foresight when they set it up in 2013, but it is always a struggle, particularly I suppose in this day and age where research funding across the globe has seen a few hits and is not perhaps as high as it used to be. So we need to make RDA, I suppose, innovative, and useful and valuable, and show the impact and the value, for which there is a significant amount. And we've heard wonderful stories these days as well about if it were not for RDA. And I often talk about, in fact, the cost of not having RDA. We wouldn't have these global connections, we wouldn't have these open outputs, we wouldn't be reducing the duplication of efforts, and there would be much more work in silos. So it's hard sometimes to put a cost on something, but the importance of sustaining a global organisation like RDA is, obviously one of the most challenging aspects of my job.